Hello everyone, welcome to the Wildcat Way Show. I'm Mackenzie Hickman and I'm here with Sydni Crain, who is our new instructor of our hydrography program. And we are so excited to have Sydni with us to join the Wildcat family, but also to be taking on this new role as the instructor of this new program that we've added as one of our CTE programs. So welcome to the show, Sydni.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. I'm excited to get started with this because I'm genuinely interested in the hydrography program and what it's going to bring to PRCC. But before we talk about that, let's kind of talk about you. So tell me a little bit about you, where you grew up and where you went to high school.
So I'm actually from Poplarville. I went to high school, went to Poplarville High School, graduated from there in 2017. After that, I came straight to Pearl River, and that's where I was actually introduced through an honors lecture series to the world of oceanography. And so that kind of led me to USM's ocean engineering program. From there, went into a master's program in geography, and just the culmination of all of that, that coursework and projects and things like that taught me a lot about hydrography. So got a call one day, would you be interested in teaching? And not something I ever saw myself doing, but I'm so excited for it.
Absolutely. No, I definitely think it's going to be an exciting adventure starting out. And talking about that, kind of going back to that honors lecture that you were talking about here. So what was that and what kind of got your interest in the oceanography stuff then? So out of high school, I knew that my strong suits were math and science. And so of course, that points everyone, oh, you should be an engineer. And so no other discipline of engineering was really piquing my interest. I knew it wasn't mechanical, knew it wasn't civil or electrical, but I never really thought about the idea of ocean engineering. Well, when Dr. Ballard came, he is most famously known for discovering the sunken Titanic, but he has so many other great accomplishments and has had so many other contributions to the world of oceanography. And just some of the things that he was talking about, just being able to experience, and there's so much we don't know about our oceans. As true as it may be, I don't know, but I hear all the time we know more about the moon than we know about our oceans. That's wild.
And so to me that was just like, yeah, this is it. So a little while later I got in contact with some folks at USM, figured out some of the classes I needed to take, and just went straight into it.
Yeah, so what was your time like at USM? Like what kind of coursework were you doing? Were you able to be doing any like hands-on experience with oceanography?
Yeah, absolutely. So of course I took a lot of the upper level engineering classes, but they also require a capstone project and some internships, and they also do a couple of boat trips. So you get to understand what it's like to spend a couple of nights on the water.
That's cool.
We actually went out to the site where the Deepwater Horizon incident occurred, and just if you've never had an experience where you can't see land on any side, it's crazy. But it's a whole new world.
Absolutely. So, is it a scary world to you, or is it more just interesting?
Well, I've not been like in real high seas or anything like that. Fortunately, when all the times that I went out, it was pretty calm. I can see how it could be scary. When I was out there, since it was so calm, it was very clear. Basically, like you can see some creatures like that glow in the water at night, and just see stars and all of that. And so I tried to focus more on that side of things. And oh my God, how far away from land am I?
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of see the interesting and the cool stuff in there.
Yeah.
So kind of going towards now you being the instructor of this hydrography program, what do you know, like what the need in hydrography is for this CTE program? Like what is necessary for these students to learn and to do, and for our state to have this degree in hydrography?
So my understanding of the creation of this degree, which I would totally agree with, is one of the best ways I've heard it put is when you go to have an x-ray done. The radiologist is not the one who takes your x-ray.
Right.
You have a radiologic technologist who does your x-ray. they're a lot of times can interpret what it means because they do so much of them, but the doctor is actually the one who delivers and checks off on the results.
Yeah.
So similar concept here. The field is flooded with proper hydrographers with graduate degrees. They need someone to be bootstrapping on the ground, doing the scans, able to work the equipment, and then send that information back to hydrographers. And rightfully so, the hydrographers want to be paid for their education, and there's just so many of them that they can't pay a graduate level education to everyone.
Right. Absolutely.
So even still though, people who have this background are making very good money doing it.
Absolutely.
So, and anyone who's been cross-trained or gone through PRCC's workforce programs that they've done just kind of as a trial run over the past few summers, they've all been employed.
That's awesome.
So, and they're all seem to be doing very well. So
that's great.
The students in this program will be learning a lot of electronics and a lot about hydrography in and of itself, some acoustics classes to understand how the science behind it works, a little bit of robotics and communications, and we'll also be doing some field methods and a lot of hands-on special projects.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. So with this being a new program and then you being a new instructor, how have you gone about like creating the course for hydrography? What has that process been like?
So for this first semester, a lot of the classes I will be teaching are electronics classes. So they actually do already exist. So I was able to take a lot of those and just kind of build on it and tailor it to the needs of this program. And then as far as the hydrography, and I'm teaching a GIS course, which is, if you're not familiar, GIS is like if you have Google or Apple Maps on your phone, that is a similar concept. Tells you where stuff is in the world.
Yeah.
So the GIS class, it already existed, so I'm able to tailor that as well. And then the intro to hydrography class I'm going to be teaching, I've been following the SLOs, of course, that are required, and then communicating with industry. But like, how do we need to go about this?
Right.
And they've been recommending softwares and
that's great,
helping us get partnerships with very expensive software. So we're very thankful for their contribution to this. So, and just going from there, there's going to be more classes that we're just going to be going through the same process, starting in spring and then in the summer.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
Building blocks.
Building blocks for sure, and having help and outside help too, and just kind of building the blocks up for the program. So is this a 1 or 2 year program?
So the structure that it's going to be is fall, spring, summer. None of us thought that it would be a good idea to waste the weather that we have during the summer to get some field work done. So we're doing it like that, and then the only other thing that the students will have to complete is their academic classes. Nice. We're only offering an associate's in this degree at the moment, so no technical certificates right now. So as soon as they can get those other courses done, so math, their college algebra, Comp 1, humanities, public speaking, and
music appreciation, I think,
so as long as they can get those done, they can be complete. And especially if they've done all those in dual enrollment in high school. So you can be done in a calendar year.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so with that, they can have that associate's degree in the hydrography, and they can be kind of like you said, like a one with a grad degree, a hydrographer that has like a graduate degree. They can be like their assistant, basically, kind of like a technical assistant to one of those. Awesome.
A lot of people in with this expertise right now are working. When I say offshore, I don't mean on a rig, but offshore on vessels doing actual mapping. There's an initiative right now called Seabed 2030, and there's about 75% of our oceans that aren't mapped up to standard.
Dang.
And so the goal is to have that completed by the year 2030.
Okay, wow.
So we've got a long ways to go, so we need a lot of help.
Yeah.
But so they're offshore on those vessels that are doing that mapping. And my understanding is those types of jobs work similar to if you worked on a rig, you do hitch work, and you're just doing something different than being on the oil rig. You're on a boat, you're using the technology and funneling that to the appropriate people to process and then create maps.
That is super cool. And you talked a little bit about field work in the summer part of this course. What does that field work look like?
So at the moment, we are trying to secure some funds for buying a scientific grade drone, or ASB, to kind of elevate the program. But right now we've got some hobby grade type drones, and we're also partnering with some industry to be able to be introduced to their equipment. So the field work will be like, okay, we're on a vessel. This is how you conduct yourself on a vessel. This is the proper safety to go through. And then this is how you plan a hydrographic mission. What all do you need to have? Do you have your checklist done? Because when you get out there and you don't have something, you might as well call it. Like it's over.
Absolutely. I've even heard like people that have flown planes for years, they still have a checklist every single time that they get into the cockpit, because it's like if you just miss one thing or you forget one little tiny detail, it can be the matter of life and death. And it could be the matter of you either are here to actually get it done or not get it done. So
depending on what it is, I suppose it could be life and death.
And that too, I mean, you never know. Stuff like that too can definitely, when you're out in the ocean and working like that. And speaking of that, I know that people are probably like, well, where is the vessels and stuff going to be coming from in Poplarville? But you're actually on the Hancock campus. So you're in Waveland, Mississippi. So you're kind of close to the coastal areas. And we actually have a new Hancock campus that's being built. They've actually already started on it, and it's looking like it's going to be open hopefully like this time next year.
Hopefully.
So what does that mean to you? Are you excited about that?
So that would, of course, just be able to grow this program and so many of our other Hancock programs so much. Just by seeing the great work that they did with the hangar, I can only imagine how immaculate this building will be once it's finished. And I know everybody at the Hancock Center is very excited and hopeful for the completion of this new building. And it'll just provide new classroom furniture, lab equipment, and it'll very much so accelerate being able to teach the students the proper information.
Absolutely. Well, I'm super excited for it. I know you are, especially everyone that's down on the Hancock campus is excited for it, but not just that, like even the whole community of Hancock County and what it'll bring to them is super exciting as well. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me, Sydni, and telling me all about your program. And I'm super excited for you, and good luck for this first kind of endeavor into this program.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. All right, everyone. Well, that is the conclusion of this Wildcat Way Show. Thank you all for watching. This again was Sydni Crain, our new hydrographer instructor. And please continue to follow us on all of our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram. Make sure to check us out on Apple Podcasts as well. And thank you again for watching. I'm Mackenzie Hickman and with Sydni Crain.